Okay, a digital divide is a gap created between people regarding access to technology. So these gaps are usually created because of financial or educational reasons. So take, for example, old people and young people. So young people today are growing up with computers. So they don't know life without computers, but they're also really good users of computers. They understand how to use them, etc. Old people currently struggle with computers, are scared of computers. Not all old people, not all young people. You get the idea. There is a huge divide between old and young in terms of their access to, their ability to use, and their understanding of computers, and all the benefits computers give you as a life. So, if, for example, you were running an online business against a local business, old people might find, if they're uneducated in their use of computers, might find it difficult to run and set up a business online. Young people potentially wouldn't. Okay, old people competing therefore with young people would be difficult. Okay, so the idea is with these gaps is the people that are more where computers are come easier to them for whatever reason have lots of benefits over the other side of the gap. Okay, because there's lots of benefits of computers, and if you know how to use them, you're educated in it. That's giving you a benefit over the other part of the divide. So old and young is one obvious one, and it's mainly to do with their age, how long computers have been around, and their education. Young people are forced to learn about computers when they're in school. Okay, then you've got things like rural and urban. So this isn't so much to do with the access to computers. Typically, if we think in the UK, but this is to do with things like internet speed. So my wife's mum and dad live in a very, very small little village where the internet speed is horrendous. They don't have fibre or anything like that. Therefore, the whole idea of online shopping, online banking, and that is pretty dead to them. They don't do it, and it wouldn't really work very well. Whereas if you live in an urban area, you've got access to all this internet, high speed internet, all that sort of stuff. That again is giving you all the benefits of computers that people living in rural locations may not have. Even if they're educated, there's a divide there. So it's not always to do with education. It's usually financial or educational reasons, but that is just a locality reason. You've got developed and developing countries. So thinking outside the UK, countries like Africa don't have the technological infrastructure or necessarily the financial ability to give their children, their adults. Sorry, I'll just move slide. Their children, their adults, access to computers in the same way you'd have in a developed country, which means our already developed countries are moving ahead at a faster rate than the developing countries are currently catching up. So currently, I'd say that gap is actually getting bigger, even though we're doing lots of things to try and make it smaller. Your upper and lower class, purely financially, you can make an argument to say lower class might not be able to afford the technology in the same way upper class can, therefore giving the upper class potentially an advantage again. And then you could say disabled and fit would be another one, because fit, sorry, I've done it again. If you're fit, you've got better access to these computers, even if you can afford them, even if you're educated, even if you live in an urban area with good internet connection. If you're a fit person, you've got better access to these computers because of the input devices, your keyboards, your mice, etc., compared to where there are ones for disabled. There is still a gap there because they're not quite of the same level. So they're all digital divides, and these gaps that are created give one side of the gap an advantage over the other. And it's understanding that, but also understanding why that gap is there. Is it because of financial reasons, educational reasons, locality reasons, etc.?